What up, my people? What up, my people? What's going down, Rockets fans? This is your boy AK Infinity. You can find me on Twitter at AK Infinity underscore VVS. This channel is Rockets Propaganda, where we talking all Rockets all the time. And if we ain't talking direct Rockets, we talking indirect Rockets, things that affect the Rockets. But yeah, before we get into it, go ahead and like the video, leave a comment after the video, subscribe, holler at me on Twitter. Um, Quick housekeeping notes. The thumbnail, if y'all can see that beautiful thumbnail of the video, um, I got that from a gentleman by the name of Connor. He's on Twitter. I'm gonna put his information below in the description box, and also shout out to Jackson Gatlin from Locked On Rockets for uploading the training camp footage and doing all the interviews, giving everybody, all the Rockets fans, great content as usual. Shout out to that man. Let's go on and get into it, man. So this is key takeaways from day 3 of Rockets training camp. Man, I need to talk to y'all, man. Y'all holler at me. Yeah. Come in close. Come in close. Come in close. Yeah. LP is that dude, y'all. Hold on, man. Hold on. I don't know if y'all heard me. I said LP is that dude, y'all. Check this out, man. If you watch training camp, if you're watching the footage of day 3, he look like he's the man on the team. He look like they're gonna run the offense through him. They're gonna get him his touches, and everybody gonna eat off of whatever he does. I think that's a good way to play. I think that's gonna be a good, optimal way to get the most out of our offense. Seeing as we got guys who don't necessarily need to have the ball like that, we don't have a bunch of ISO guys like that. So I'm with that. I'm with that flame right there. He definitely, like I said, he looked like a number one option on offense. It wasn't a whole lot of passing that he was doing, but you could tell, man, when he got the ball, he knew what to do. He knew where everybody was gonna be. He could direct some traffic. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch, and it looks like night and day from last season to now, because he's playing with so much more confidence, and you could tell that Udoka done got in his ear and let him know, hey, look, we gonna need you, big fella. We gonna need you to establish dominance down low. So he's playing with a lot more confidence, man. He's not hesitant. He's not second guessing himself. You can tell that he feels like he's an important piece of the team and not an afterthought any longer. And another little piece too, man. He looked super competent on defense, man. He got a strip of Amen Thompson, and he was moving his feet. He was shuffling his feet. He was doing the damn thing, man. It ain't like we asking that man to be prime KG or Elijah Wan or nothing like that on defense. We just saying, hey, look, just don't be a negative, and if you're a positive, that's even better. But just don't be out there getting cooked, because this ain't no buffet. So, yeah, man, I'm really expecting big things from Alpi this season. I really am. I'm expecting a definite year 3 leap. His numbers I don't know about going through the roof, but his numbers is gonna impact winning. I'm gonna tell you that. Next thing I want to kind of touch on, man. Whoo! Our man, Magic Thompson. I'm calling him Magic from now on, man. Magic Thompson. This boy, there is a clip of him coming off the left wing, driving right, looked off the defense like he's Tom Brady or Brett Favre or Peyton Manning or Drew Brees. Looked off the defense. He looked to the right wing, found Cam Whitmore down low for the easy gorilla slam. I was like, yuck, that's nasty. He had another one to Tari Eason. Tari smoked it. He smoked the layup, but you could tell Amen Thompson has a grasp of what he needs to do as a point guard at the next level already. You could tell. Yeah, it's just training camp. So, if he wasn't doing it, I'd be more concerned if he wasn't even doing it at training camp, at practice, and the scrimmage. That is when it'd be a problem for real. But if he's doing it at practice, all right, that means that it's a possibility he can do it in the game too. So I'm with that, man. I'm really with him. I'm thinking he gonna end up being the best player in this draft class. I don't care nothing about no Wembanyama. Because once Wembanyama take one elbow to the chest, it's gonna change his life. But anyway, another thing I kind of want to touch on, yeah, man, the Rockets can finally break a goddamn press. Imagine that. You remember last season? Anytime we'll start off a game kind of hot. Next thing you know, the other team will do one or two things. Either they'll go into a zone because we ain't got no damn shooters, or B, they'll start trapping us in the backcourt because they know Dacian Nick's a bumbling buffoon and KPJ not gonna pass to nobody and he gonna end up turning the ball over. So that's what used to happen. That I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of that happening no more because we got a veteran guard in Fred VanVleet and we got an actual point guard in Magic Thompson. And I think that's a thing of the past. That is gonna be a thing of the past. And I can tell that the coaches have really been coaching these guys. They ain't just been telling them to do stuff and then they don't do it and then they just leave it alone. They've been coaching them. They've been telling them, hey man, you don't do this, your ass gonna come sit next to me. I'm not trying to sit next to Udoka, man. Nope. If he just pulled me out of the game and I gotta go sit next to him, say, alright, ain't no telling what kind of trash he gonna talk to me. He probably gonna tell me where my wife live and all of that, or my girlfriend. That's what's gonna happen. You know he gonna anyway. But yeah, man, these boys look like they've been getting coached really good on the defensive end and on the offensive end. Look like they have more of an idea of what they want to do. They're not out there trying to think about what they should do next. They're processing things a whole lot better. It's coming a little bit more natural. My next point, Jabari, Tari, and Dillon. Yeah, they've been looking like some real live demons on defense, man. I can't wait for that trio to be on the court at the same time. Right now it's been Jabari and Dillon on one team and Tari been on the other team. Tari been all over the place. Jabari been all over the place. And Dillon just been a pest. Like, if you got the ball, Dillon looking for you in the back court, in the half court, in the locker room, in the stall, in the shower. He looking for you. He guarding you before tip off. That's what it look like. Dillon out there really, you know, his intensity is on one for real. It's turned all the way up, and if you turn it any more than it is, it's gonna break. But yeah, Dillon looking good, man. He been breaking some. I mean, the whole team been missing shots. This training camp would look like a bunch of people was missing shots, except Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore looked like he made a couple, but the shooting ain't really been there. But this was like the scrimmage looked like it's probably kind of later. Once the media did get in, ain't no telling what they were doing before then. So they were probably, you know, a little bit tired, probably dead legs a little bit, trying to readjust, get back on the floor of things. But yeah, I know that the shooting is a little bit of a point of concern going into the season. But the shot selection gonna be better, and if we are 2 or 3 percentage points better, field goal wise, shooting from last season. I can take that. I can deal with that. Just because I know the shot selection gonna be better. So another point I wanted to touch on is Jayshawn Tate, man. Tate look like he gonna be leading the second unit. He been looking really good offensively and defensively. Like he's been all over the place defensively too, like the three I mentioned before. But Jayshawn on offense, he been scoring, he been conducting traffic, he been facilitating really well, he been passing, he been doing what Jayshawn does. His jumper, it still ain't there, but at his age, it probably ain't gonna come around, which is fine. But if we're winning games and Jayshawn is shining off the bench, that's gonna either A, make us feel more comfortable about keeping him and not having to rush Cam Whitmore in, even though I personally would love Cam Whitmore to get more playing time. But if Tate is playing and we winning, I can't complain about winning. And on the other hand, if Tate is playing well and we winning, it increases his trade stock because you have more valuable when you're on the winning when you're on the team that's winning games than when you're not. So a contender could be out there that wants him, that needs him, and may need somebody on the wing to defend and pass and whatnot. I think Jayshawn would be really good off of any contender's bench, especially if it's a contender team that really does have enough shooting and they just need somebody to come out there, pass, be a defend, be a glue guy, all that in the bag of chips, man. We shall see. We'll see what that look like as the season progresses. I know we got a preseason game, first preseason game next week. I believe it's on either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're playing the Pacers. Can't wait for that. It'll be interesting to see what the starting lineup is for that game too. Um, Next little point I wanted to talk about, just a general overall team perspective. Um, the ball is not sticking to any one player anymore, man. Like dudes dribble 3 times and they'll get off the ball or they'll make a move to the rim. Like it's not a bunch of standing around, people just waiting to get the ball in the corner. There's no there's no Harden ball going on anymore, man. There's no D'Antoni ball going on anymore, man. It's a more cohesive team. When you see a screen and roll at the top of the key, you see back cuts, you see people setting off ball screens, you see split cuts, you see communication off the ball. Like you see what an offense is supposed to look like. Like what we've been looking at the past a couple 3 seasons. That look like basketball AIDS, if you ask me. That look terrible. Ain't nobody trying to look at that again, man. But what we got right now, what I've been seeing at on this training camp footage, it's beautiful, man. I really cannot complain. I really can't complain, man. All of the stuff that we used to complain about, on offense, they're just standing around, too much ISO. I don't see a lot of that going on. I don't see no random pull up threes out of nowhere for no reason just because you can. And even on defense, you see a whole lot of guys communicating and talking, having each other's back. And really, you can't really defend if you're not communicating because you can only see what's in front of you, and your back line got to tell you what's coming behind you if there's a screen or anything like that, so you know what to do. You know how to react. They're calling out coverages. You can see Alpi and them, Jabari. You can see Dillon. You can see Fred. Everybody is talking, letting everybody know what's going on behind them, so they know how to react in front of themselves. It's beautiful to watch, man. I really cannot express how much I am looking forward to watching this live and direct on TV, man, instead of just at training camp. Like we are, as a fan base, we are fiending, and I mean absolutely frothing at the mouth to watch this first preseason game. Couple more points here, man. So Jalen Green, he spoke to the media after practice. That man said he want to be better for his teammates, man. It doesn't sound like he's out there concerned too much about getting numbers, getting his. He's not really talking a whole lot about himself too much. He just wants to win. And honestly, we've been knowing that. He just didn't know how. He didn't have the right infrastructure or the right surroundings to really know how to do what it is that he wants to do. So when people talk about his breakout season, I think people are really expecting him to have some wild numbers. I'm not expecting him to go 25 points a game and above, really, because we have more of a balanced team now. We got Alpi that's gonna get some buckets, and who's not an afterthought anymore. Jabari is no longer an afterthought anymore. We got Fred VanVleet. Those are going to be our top 4 scorers. I don't think there's any arguing that. I don't know who's going to be number 5. I don't know if it's going to be Dillon. I don't know if it's going to be Tari. I don't know if it's going to be Amen. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Tate. But our top 4 scorers are pretty easy to figure out. Now, what's going to be the ratio between them? Is it going to be more of a balanced attack between those 4? Or is Jalen going to really have gaudy numbers and the rest just kind of have solid numbers, cool numbers? I don't know. But what I'm expecting, Jalen may be about 24 points a game. He's going to increase his 3-point shooting percentage to about 36, 37. He's going to increase his field goal percentage to about 44, 45. That'll be a big-time jump. And I'm also expecting his defense to pick up some, too, because if he don't, you got to go sit next to Udoka. That ain't what you want, bro. Ain't no telling what he going to whisper in your ear. Hey, man. Hey, come here, little. I know where your girlfriend live. I'm going to text her when we get out the game. I ain't trying to hear that if I'm on the sideline sitting next to Udoka because he done pulled me because I ain't playing no D. Now he going to tell me how he going to put D on my girl. Nah, we not having that. So these boys, they out here getting held accountable, man. That brings me to my next point, which is how Ime Udoka did mention in this interview that he's going to hold everybody accountable. in front of the whole team. He don't care. He came up under Greg Popovich, and the stories are always Greg Popovich used to go in on Timmy, Manu, and Tony. He ain't care who they were. He ain't care whose nephew you are. Your uncle is the judge of the Supreme Court. Man don't care nothing about that. If you ain't out there playing defense, you ain't out there playing. Point blank and period. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything plays out, man. I'm really excited for the season. Um, but y'all chip in below, comment below, like the video, share, subscribe, the whole nine. Holla at me on Twitter at AKInfinity_VVS. And we are Rockets Propaganda.